My dear students, now we are going to learn lesson number 2, A Soldier's Son, which is written by Sobha Ghosh. Let's discuss about the author Sobha Ghosh. This is the picture of Sobha Ghosh. Sobha Ghosh, her qualification is PhD, is the Associate Chairperson for Research in the Department of Internal Medicine at VCU Medical Center. She received her MS degree in clinical biochemistry from Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh, India, before obtaining her PhD degree in biochemistry from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. After completing her first postdoctoral training at the biochemistry at VCU Medical Center, she was appointed as an assistant professor in the Department of Internal Medicine in 1999, where she is now a professor of medicine. She is also a professor of physiology since 2008. She has published 48 papers originating from the research performed directly from her laboratory and presented her work at national and international conferences. In recognition of her research endeavors, she received TOIM Faculty Award for Distinguished Research in 2004. She has also published several limited review articles and book chapters. Her expertise is routinely sought by several journals as a peer reviewer and by AHA to grade abstract for the annual scientific session. This is all about the author. Let's discuss about the new words. Bravery, fearlessness, readiness to suffer danger and pain. Gasping means catching breath suddenly and in a way that can be heard because of fear and shock. Hesitation, slowness in deciding what to do. Grimacing, showing pain which makes the face unnaturally twisted. Incoherently, not clear and hard to understand. Passionate will, strong and deep feeling combined with strength of mind, plummet, fall steeply, suddenly, staggering, having trouble standing or walking. Rescue party, party sent to save the pilot from harm. Strict, move very fast. Let's come to the topic. The plane was veering and suddenly in the sky, it was losing height rapidly and hurtling towards Earth. It would be a matter of minutes before it crashed. A figure fell out of the fiery object that was plummeting down to Earth. A white structure mushroomed and opened like a flower in the sky, and the man floated gently down with the wind to the ground. Here, see, one man is floated gently down from the wind, and one boy was looking up to the man. Here, the plane was veering in the sky. It was losing height and coming towards Earth at a great speed. At any moment, it would crash, and before that, a figure came out opening the parachute and landed on the ground. Then, who is this man? Next chapter, what happened that we will discuss now. A small boy, 10 or 12-year old, had been watching the plane for some time. The boy emerged from the clump of trees. He had seen the plane shut down by enemy fire and the pilot parachute down from the flaming plane. He came out from the darkness of the tree and reached the wounded pilot. Come with me, sir. The enemy will be here any minute. There is no time to lose. There is an army camp nearby. You will be safe there. The pilot staggered, tried to take 2 or 3 steps, but collapsed to the ground. I cannot walk. My legs are probably fractured. Can you do something for me? Here in this picture, students, you can see that one boy was looking to the man, looking to the pilot who had come from the flight. Then that small boy was watching everything, and when that man came down, he asked that you come with me and I can help you. Nearby, one army camp is there. I can take you to there. So, this pilot was staggered over that, and he said that I cannot go, just you do one work for me. He had taken the permission. Can you do something for me? Because that man cannot walk, his legs were fractured. The child could see it was with great effort that the man could talk. Yes, sir, I will do anything you want. You are small. Better don't take a chance, he muttered under his breath. Not a chance, sir, a certainty. What do you want me to do? The man's hands were bleeding. He fumbled inside his pocket and took out a packet of papers. Take this to the commanding officer of the army unit, he said. Tell him this must reach the Air Force Station, Ambala, by night. Tell him to take care of it and make sure it reaches Ambala on time. Now run for your life. You must avoid the enemy. Will you be able to do it? Yes, sir, I will do it. But you, the enemy will catch you. Don't worry about me. I can escape. I will try and distract them. You run and hand over the packet. Yes, sir, said the boy with a smart salute. The man could not help smiling, although he was grimacing with the pain of his injuries. He began to crawl away from the boy in the opposite direction. The small figure streaked across the open space, back to the tree from which it had emerged. The enemy, however, had seen him. A few of them gave a chase and shot at him. The cartridges fell everywhere around him. The child ran fast and was lost to sight. The enemy gave up and turned their attention to the crawling figure of the pilot. A few minutes later, the little boy stood at the sentry post of the army unit. Take me to the commander, Sahib. There is something I have to deliver to him. Your pilot has given one packet of papers to the boy, and by the night, that boy has to reach in the Air Force Station, Ambala, by the night. It should be reached there. And when that boy asked that, yes, I can do this work and I will reach this packet to the airport station. But what about you? Your that enemies will catch you because you are unable to walk also. So pilot said that you don't worry about me. You should go and you should do this work, and it will be a best gift for me. And I will distract. I will try and I will distract the enemy's mind, and I will save myself. I will try to save myself. So after some time, that boy has given salute to the pilot and took that packet and run from that place. And they both went in the opposite direction. And after some time, he reached the army unit and he asked that to meet with the Commander Sahib to deliver the packet. Little boy, you cannot go to the Commander Sahib. No one is allowed to go to his room unless it is very important. What I have is very important. It is from the pilot whose plane was shut down. You mean the plane that just crashed? A rescue party has gone to look for him. There, one army person, he didn't allow the boy to meet with the Commander Sahib. So he asked that what is the reason to meet with Commander Sahib? You just tell me. If it will genuine, I will inform to Commander Sahib and you can meet. So the boy said that this packet is so important. I cannot give it to anybody else. I should give it to the Commander Sahib only. So I should meet with the Commander Sahib. And he said that this packet I got from the pilot just now, the plane which was crashed. And the army person said that our rescue party, they have gone to look for the person and nearby the plane which was just now crashed. Then the sentry spoke into the field telephone. A sepoy came to the sentry post and took the boy to the Commander Sahib. Who are you and why did you want to see me? The commanding officer asked. My name is Macbull Burt. My father was awarded a medal for bravery. He died fighting for nation. My mother and I live here now. I was watching the plane when I heard an anti aircraft gun fire and saw the plane become unsteady. I saw him fall to the ground. I knew I must save him. The enemy was just a little distance away. I ran to bring him back by a shortcut. When I reached him, I found that he could not walk. He was bleeding profusely. He told me not to worry about him, but to try and get this packet to you and tell you that it must reach Ambala tonight. It is very important. Son, weren't you afraid of the enemy? My father told me never to be afraid of enemy. They can't do anything if our number is not written on the bullet. Good. You are indeed the brave son of a brave soldier. Has the enemy been able to catch the pilot? Here. Then after the sentry person, he informed it to the commanding officer and they have taken that boy to inside to meet with the commanding officer. When this boy met with the commanding officer. He asked that who are you and what is the purpose to meet with me? Why did you want to see me? Here that boy introduced himself that he was Macbull Butt. His father was awarded a medal for bravery and his father was died for fighting for the nation. And nowadays he and his mother were staying nearby the place. Here he saw that one plane was crashing and from that one pilot was coming down with the parachute and that man only, the pilot only, has given a packet and he told that by today night it should be reached to Ambala. It should be reached to you. So I am giving this packet to you. And he told that this packet is very much important. Then, after listening all the things, commanding officer asked her, son, you are not afraid of the enemy. So the boy, Macbull, but told that no, I didn't afraid because his father was a freedom fighter. He fought for the nation and his father didn't afraid to the enemy. Every time his father told that the enemies cannot do anything if your name is not written in the bullet. So, commanding officer praised him. You are a brave soldier. You are a brave son of a brave soldier. Then he asked about the pilot also. Has the enemy been able to catch the pilot? So, next we will get to know either the enemies were catched to the pilot or not. I don't know, sir. I couldn't wait to see. I had to carry out my orders first. I know where he fell. I also know where the enemy lines are. I can guide you to it by a shortcut so that you can intercept them and cut off their retreat. We must go at once, sir. The enemy came on foot. If you take jeeps, you will be able to surround them and catch them. Instructions noted, sir. Action will be taken, smiled the commanding officer. 5 minutes later, the group of enemy soldiers found themselves surrounded by jeeps. There was no escape. One of them started to run but realized that it was of no use. Throwing down his gun, he realized his hands above his head. The enemy was rounded up and the pilot rescued. He to rise and walk, even when prodded with bayonets. He was muttering something incoherently. Boy, packet. He could say no more. The pilot was taken to the military hospital at once. Macbull, thank you, my brave son. Now you must be taken home. Your mother will be worried about you. I'm Makbul Bhatt, son of India. This is my land and these are my brothers. It is here that I was born and nurtured. My father's blood is mixed with the soil of this land, and my mother's tears water the earth on which our crops grow. My loyalty rests here with my brother's blood relation of the soil. For we have broken bread on the same land. The boy who had been standing crumpled up all of a sudden and fell down. The enemy fire had hit this leg, and blood was dropping from the wound. The commanding officer gathered the fallen figure in his arms and carried the child to the ambulance. The boy stared and grimaced with pain. Major Dogra moved swiftly to him and gently eased his leg into a more comfortable position. The commanding officer, renowned in worry, his eyes brimmed with tears. Maxwell smiled through his dirt-streaked face. A soldier never weeps, sir. Another voice from somewhere far away, lost in the distant years, seemed to say, a soldier never runs from the enemy. Father, you told me. So he must face the bullets even when they tear his chest to shreds. Yes, my son, a soldier must not weep, but a father's heart weeps and bleeds with the blood of his son. I received the PVC for my son in 1970. Then the pilot was taken to the military hospital for treatment. The commander and his men thanked to Macbull and asked him to go to home as his mother would be worried. After this, he told them he was the son of India and his loyalty rests with soil. His father was died for this earth and his mother's tears were giving the crops. And this is the loyalty for the soil. The boy fell down as the enemy fire hit leg. The commanding officer put him in an ambulance. He saw the commander's eyes full of tears. For this Macbull told, I, soldier, never whips, sir. What he said? A soldier never whips, sir. Another voice from far away seemed to say, a soldier never runs from the enemy. Father, you told me. The commander told the boy that he received the PVC for his late son in 1971 war. Now, commanding officer, he was remembering his soldier son. Macbull told the commander that he would become a soldier when he grew up, and the commander wished him that one day he would lead the Indian army with the same daring and courage he had shown now. And at last, what was the dream of that boy? The dream of the boy was he would be one of the soldier for the nation. In future, when he will grow up, he will be the soldier for the nation. And commanding officer also blessed him that you should lead the Indian army with the same daring and courage, whatever you have shown now. Okay, students, hope all of you understood it well. So, now we will end the class. Next class, I'll come with a new topic. Till then, bye bye. See you. Thank you.